Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network channel on YouTube. I'm your host, Mr. Prime Real Estate, Ric Davis.
And I'm your host, the Texas Real Estate King, LarryWBrooks.
Every week, the King and I will provide you exclusive access to our network of lenders, investors, and real estate professionals from both the commercial and residential real estate sectors.
Now, are you millionaire minded? Or maybe you're a millionaire in the making. Make sure that you subscribe so you can get connected to the network. And always remember, the Prime Real Estate Network, where millionaires are in the making.
Create wealth for generations.
What's up, Prime Real Estate Network listeners? It's your man, LarryWBrooks, a.k.a. the Texas Real Estate King. Hey, when you get a moment, go ahead and go over to shoplwb.com. You can see the Pure Hustle merchandise that we have over there, some of our newer items that we have in stock, and of course, I got all the books that I've authored. I'd love for your support. You have a great day.
Network live. I'm your host, Ric Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Ric. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in our lovely city of Houston, you can reach me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Ric. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this week. And I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that's checking us out live on YouTube and Facebook. Look, all you people checking out the live stream, get involved in today's show. Leave myself or today's guest a relevant question in the comment section, and we may very well get your question answered on today's show. I want to give a huge shout out to the team over at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. I'm here now at 2600 South Loop West, Suite 310 here in Houston, Texas, man. Huge shout out to the team over at the Prime Real Estate Network and our super producer, Jay Joseph. We have a really exciting show planned for you all. So I urge everyone in the audience, like, subscribe, share, text, email, DM. Let everyone know that this week's episode of the Prime Real Estate Network Live is live up, and we have a really, really exciting show planned for you all. Today's show, we're going to give all the real estate professionals, all the mortgage professionals, all the business owners and entrepreneurs access to the foremost expert on business franchising, business networking, and business sales. This lady has always been a trusted confidant partner with Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, and it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with her this week and to be able to interview her for you all. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce this week's guest. She is not only a corporate franchising expert, she's a sales coach, entrepreneur, author. I'd like to thank her so much for sitting in on the Prime Real Estate Network Live. And I'd like to introduce to the audience, Miss Toni Harris Taylor. How are you?
Awesome, Ric. Thank you for the opportunity. Mic check. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I got some important things to share. So I want to make sure I'm being heard. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Larry Brooks, for having me. And I just got to start by saying that I'm here because I showed up at a time I didn't feel like it. We're going to talk more about that.
No, and Ms. Taylor, thank you so much for sitting in. One of the things that members of our audience have become very familiar with Mr. Larry W. Brooks is that he's a multi-time author. And this is one of the rare opportunities that we have here on this platform to interview someone who's authored even more books than the Texas Real Estate King. So, Ms. Taylor, first and foremost, for the members of our audience that are meeting you for the first time, could you introduce yourself, your organization, and talk about your experience and your history as an author?
Awesome. My name's Toni Harris Taylor. I am the CEO and founder of Drastic Results Marketing and Sales Coaching. I teach real estate agents and service-based entrepreneurs and franchise professionals how to show up, be up, follow up to blow up. So in other words, I teach them networking. I'm also a franchisee myself. Network in Action brings business owners together to create community collaborations, connections, get some coaching so we can make more cash together. My group is a virtual group with people nationally. I also am a part of Multicultural Franchise Connectors. I actually am a visionary and executive director of this 501c3 that I came up with because when I was entering franchise rooms, I'm like, where the brown people at? Right. Where we at? Why are we not in these rooms? And I started to realize that we only think franchising is restaurants and brick and mortar. So I'm on a mission through my 501c3 to educate us about what franchising can do. And lastly, when people come to me and say, well, yeah, Toni, that makes sense. Help me find a franchise. I'm a franchise broker and consultant, speaker, 14-time author, and I just love what I do. So I keep piling it on.
Thank you so much for your intro and being so transparent with your skills, talent, and experiences. A bulk of our audience consists of realtors, mortgage professionals, appraisers, inspectors, all gamut of the real estate sphere. When you, with your experience as a franchise expert, someone who connects like-minded business professionals with opportunities to build their brands and their organizations, can you talk from a real estate perspective? What franchising opportunities have you seen realtors take advantage of? How has it helped them flourish, and how has it helped to build their brand?
Okay, great question. Well, the funny thing is realtors already know about franchising. If they're with Remax, Keller, any of the big boys, Century, if they're with any of the big boys, those are franchises in a lot of cases. So those brokers became franchisees of those models. So either whether you're aware or not, that owner of that brokerage probably bought into the franchise model of that brokerage firm. So let's just do that. Let's talk about that. Franchising is businesses that are already ready. That's why people do go into brokerage firms, because they want the training, the support, right? As a realtor, rather than going on it alone. Mm-hmm. But then from there, we know the real estate market is up and down, right? And there's lots of variables. And I believe you all teach, you got to have multiple streams of income.
Absolutely.
But the problem is most real estate professionals have never thought about franchising, because when we think about franchising, we think about Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Subway, and other brick and mortar businesses. And we ain't trying to get into food. So what I am teaching entrepreneurs is to find that franchise that goes hand in hand with what you're already doing, that serves the clients you're already serving. Let me give you an example. As I mentioned in my intro, Drastic Results is my coaching business. When the franchise network in action came into my life, I was this close to shutting it all down and going to get a job. But then I was introduced to the franchise. I'm like, I'll just try it, right? Mm-hmm. And what ended up happening is I was teaching people how to network here. I give them a place to network here. They feed each other. Let's talk about real estate. I just closed a franchise with Otis. Shout out to Otis. Otis is a realtor. Okay. He purchased a flooring and painting franchise. Duh. So now we haven't been taught that there are home-based, small office-based franchises. So Otis is running his franchise from home.
Yes.
It was a $50,000 investment. he is, of course, he's got to spend money on marketing, but his clients, he's already got clients. When you list a house, they need to paint. When they buy a house, they want to paint. They want to put in new floors. Come on. Handyman, roofing, I'm drawing a blank, HVAC, yes. Residential cleaning. There's even, listen to this, Rick. There's even a dog poop pickup business.
Oh, wow.
Picking up dog poop. So, and in Houston, it's sold out because it's recurring revenue. Dogs go all day, every day. And if the homeowner don't want to pick it up today, they ain't gonna want to pick it up tomorrow. And so that's recurring revenue. We haven't been taught that there are low cost, less than $100,000 home-based franchises, and they go into the home. Yeah. So I'm excited to spread this message because this is, and then you don't have to start from scratch, and you've got the support, and you've got the team and other franchisees who've already maybe bumped their head. They can help you not bump yours.
You know, I love it.
About this.
I love it because I want to give everyone in our audience opportunity to be educated today. A lot of times we always, especially when we haven't been experienced in certain aspects of life or business, we imagine certain barriers that aren't there. So let's dispel some myths and rumors. Let's talk about accessibility. Let's talk about ease of access. And let's talk about how someone who's a current business owner can reach out to you today. And let's see what that process looks like as far as scheduling, consultation, and just going and seeing what's out there that they could take advantage of.
Awesome. Well, I'll be inviting the audience to my upcoming event where I have 15 franchisors speaking to share with you what's out there. Okay. Myths, barriers, financing, funding. That's the first thing that comes to mind. We don't have money. So let's take this off the table, everybody. If you got a student loan to learn, you can get a business loan to earn. Now, here's what we don't know. SBA has something they call an express loan. The SBA express loan is $150,000. Now, if Toni with drastic results wants that loan, she can't get it. Even though I have good credit, I have profit and loss because I'm a startup. But with franchises, the franchise entity gets pre-approved with the SBA. So now all you got to do, if you buy the painting and flooring, is say, what are you going to do within your territory of the pre-approved franchise?
Wow.
You need a 680 credit score and 10 to 20% liquid. It's nice if you have a partner, a spouse that is earning income so that they can see that you're not totally dependent on the business at the startup phase to live. But even I have a realtor right now I'm working with in Austin. He's looking at a kitchen refacing franchise. Every woman wants to change the kitchen every time she walk in the house. You know that, Rick?
Absolutely.
So that franchise is $125,000. The jobs are $30,000 to $40,000. Do the math.
Wow. It's amazing. I thank you so much for sharing. So when you have people reach out and they have questions about finance, you've done a great job of just totally dispelling those myths and rumors. I want to talk a little bit about your journey as a businesswoman, entrepreneur. You're a 14-time author. You've helped connect so many business owners. You've facilitated so many successful collaborations.
Yes.
What did you do professionally before you jumped out on faith, believing in yourself, and started down this road of entrepreneurship?
So I've been an entrepreneur for over 35 years in different capacities. The one thing about entrepreneurship is it's always evolving, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I spent 14 years in financial service sales. And so I was a financial advisor. I was the only or one of a few brown people in the firm, and I only had a high school diploma. So as you can see, I don't know if they can see it, but drastic is my mantra. Drastic is my brand. And I have been drastic all along my journey. So even when I was in financial sales, I was with a insurance agency, but that was commission. So it's entrepreneurship. And I have always had coaching. I hire and pay for coaches because I know I can't see everything within my business. And so that's how I've gotten successful. I show up. I invest in showing up. So I pay whatever fees. I'll get on a plane. I will get the hotel, and I will be in the room with people that are smarter than me.
Yes.
Then I book one-to-ones with them, dates, I call them. And when we date, then they like me, know me, like me, and trust me. Then they start opening other doors for me.
Right.
And that's the key to life success, not just business, life success.
One of your mantras that we've had the opportunity to hear you talk about on this interview is showing up, being present. Could you talk about the book that you wrote where you put that advice in print form? What was the motivation? Those who have bought that book, what do you feel as if they've been able to take from that reading? Yes.
So this book, Show Up, Be Up, Follow Up to Blow Up, is 25 short stories proving that networking works. So it's a quick read. There are a ton of stories. And what people will learn when they read this book is we're not extraordinary. We just push through when others don't. I mean, that is the bottom line. We show up even when we don't feel like it. And I got to tell you, we're on this interview because I pushed through and showed up, even though I didn't feel like it, when I reconnected with Larry.
Wow.
So I went to a Greater Houston Black Chamber event, shout out to them. And I had committed to my daughter to babysit. And then I was like, I need to go because it was about wealth building and I got to be there in franchising, talking about franchising. So I asked my mother, will you babysit the kids while I go to this? So I had to rearrange my whole life. Then the night before, I'm like, I still don't want to go. My mama had to change her doctor's appointment to make it happen. And so I'm like, oh, I got to go because my mama changed her appointment. I might not have went otherwise.
Wow.
And when you push through, and then I see Larry, I'm like, dude, it's been forever. We need to talk because I got something new I want to talk to you about. And here we are today.
That's such a testimony to a position that so many of us are in every day. Life is just a big collection of decisions.
Yes.
Decision making is everything. And I love how even in trying times, you've always had a glass half full perspective.
Correct.
I always feel like that you can always press to that next line. So I want to thank you so much for sharing. You know, the great thing about hosting this platform and being able to interview business owners like yourself is that I help my audience get a little bit of insight to your professional evolution.
Yeah.
So many times, Ms. Taylor, people meet you at a book signing or a networking event, and it may be undervalued the evolutionary stages that you've gone to be the woman that you present at the time that they meet you.
Correct.
So when you think back to your upbringing as a young woman, were there members of your family that were business owners, entrepreneurs that may have served as a guiding light or an example for young Toni?
I love this question. Remember, I said I've been an entrepreneur for over 35 years. Y'all can do the math, but I get a call. I'm a legal secretary. I'm 24. Just had my baby. He's a year. I get a call from my mother. I need you to quit that job and come work for me. I done seen you struggle, lady, and I'm at Exxon, and this is a good career. This is a good job. I didn't go to college, and I got a baby, and I just got married. Yeah, I don't think so. She said, I have a contract with an oil company. They need me to do a lot of classes. I can't do it. I said, Mom, I'm not a trainer. You can do it. Please try. What's the worst that can happen, Toni? You can always go back to that job. But what if I'm right? So, to answer your question, it is my mother who called me and said, quit your job, come work for me. And we actually did a documentary together. It's on my YouTube channel. You can find my YouTube under my name, and it's called From Uber to Africa. Because I actually drove Uber when I was in that phase of getting ready to quit and find a job before franchising came into my life. I drove Uber. Go watch that documentary. My mother is there, and we tell our story. So the answer is my mom, and I'm still proud of her. She works at Forward Times, the Black newspaper, and they won't let her go. She's their technology specialist. And she don't want to quit, but if she even gives a hint, they're like, yeah, no. So shout out to Forward Times for loving on my mom, which, funny enough, I introduced her. They asked me to come do some technology for them. I was not available. I sent my mom, and she's been there almost 40 years.
Wow. That's such a powerful story. I thank you so much, because there's so many members of our audience that have probably partnered with you or have purchased a book or met you at an event who do not necessarily have the insight into your background that you just provided. And I want everyone in our audience to understand that the success that they see from the members of our audience that are interviewed here is you're layered.
Yeah.
You're just a collection of everything that your friends, family, loved ones have poured into you. So thank you so much for your candor and transparency. Ms. Taylor, for the members of our audience that would love to meet, greet, interact, become a part of your movement and tribe, when will that next opportunity present itself, and how can they go about connecting and being a part of the movement?
So I'm releasing my 14th book on November the 20th. And it is virtual and in person. And so I think the easiest thing to do is send me a text and let me know you heard it on the show. That way I can send you registration links. But you can text me at 832-479-2088. 832-479-2088. Send me your name and you heard me on the Prime Real Estate Network. And then the second thing is I'm having a virtual franchise education event. Yes. So it's in partnership with my nonprofit, Multicultural Franchise Connectors, and my coaching, my broker business. And so it's franchiseconnectlive.com. franchiseconnectlive.com. It's free. I made it free so that the people who want the information can get the information. And then immediately, starting in January, we're doing a 6-week So You Want to Buy a Franchise training so you can learn how to pick your franchise, how to evaluate the franchise. And so we're doing big things. So Franchise Connect Live, and the book launch is leadloud.drasticresults.com/launch.
Someone as talented as yourself with your experiences, I'm sure in your professional path, there have been so many business owners that have come to you and asked for mentorship, consultation. I'm sure you've seen people start off talking to you at a networking event that seem kind of shy and unassuming, and you've seen them blossom into some of the most successful business people. In closing, do you have any words of advice? Because you're such a strong ray of inspiration and hope. Is there anything in the current economy, in the current business market, that you could share with our audience to kind of put some wind in their sails, motivate them to contact you, and motivate them to stay involved in what's going on?
Yeah. So absolutely. And the advice is the same all the time. Show the heck up. No matter what the economy is doing, no matter what the world is doing, no matter what you feel like, it ain't about you. You didn't start your business about you. I get introverts come to me all the time. I'm an introvert, so did you start your business to be comfortable? Because if you did, you should stay on a job where it's uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. So the answer is show up when you don't feel like it, because you're going to meet somebody who's going to say, or you're going to hear something that is going to spark the next best step. Wow. It ain't going to happen with you behind the computer sitting at home, unless you're listening to this show, of course. So that's my best advice. It doesn't change because I have seen it work for me.
I thank you so much, because I was really excited when Larry told us that you had committed to sitting down with me, and your interview is everything that I expected it to be. So thank you so much. In the future, if there's anything that you have coming down the avenue that you would like Larry and myself to get out to the audience, please do not hesitate. You always have a seat here on the Prime Real Estate Network Live. And I want to thank you so much, Queen, for sitting in with us and imparting us with so much wisdom and experience from someone as successful as yourself. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
It was an honor and a pleasure. And I'll speak with you soon. Have a great day.
You too.
Man, that was an outstanding interview. Once again, huge shout out to Miss Toni Harris Taylor. Follow her on Instagram at Toni Harris Taylor. Huge shout out to everybody at the Prime Real Estate Network Live, our super producer, Jay Joseph, everyone over at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate, stop by here at our office at 2600 South Loop West, Suite 310. You can ask for Prime Real Estate Rick. Man, it'll be an honor and a pleasure to work with you. Until next Thursday, when it's time for the Prime Real Estate Network Live, I ask that everyone in our audience, please be safe and be blessed.